Hello and welcome to the Legislative Report. I'm State Representative Keith Gillespie of the 47th District in York County. Today we're with the Perform Group in North York Borough, and with us is Tighe King, President and owner of the Perform Group. Tighe, thanks so much for letting us come in.
Oh, you're welcome. It's a pleasure to have you here.
I understand this all started many years ago. You purchased a small company and developed it into what it is today.
Well, I was born and raised in York and went off to University of Miami for college, and after graduation I spent 6 years in the Air Force as a pilot, and ultimately got out of the Air Force in 1969, and that was May of '69, and I came back to York, Pennsylvania. My parents had a small sewing contracting company with about 23 employees. King Sportswear was the name of their company. So I joined their company in May of '69, and in August of '69, an opportunity came along with existing owners from York, Herman and Stella Harrison, and I bought their business. They had established the business sometime after the war in '46, '47. So I bought the business. It was a very small business, one part-time, one full-time person when I began, and I used my parents' company to do the contracting. So 45 years later, here we are.
Well, first of all, thank you for your service to our country, 6 years in the military flying.
It was my pleasure.
Okay, so actually you're second generation then. If your folks had this 23 staff sewing company.
They had a small sewing company.
And you purchased that in addition to the one and a half individual from the other company.
Yes.
Today you're now how many strong?
We're approximately 400.
Okay.
Plus we have outside contractors as well too.
Really, what is it, the Perform Group's mission, or what products do you make?
We sell directly to dance schools, so we're business to business. Approximately 19,000 dance schools in the United States. We design, manufacture dance costumes, dance apparel for those dance schools. So millions of products go out a year throughout the country and throughout the world. Here's a catalog. This is our current catalog 2015 of our dance line, and throughout here it's from little tutus to jazz, tap, costumes that can be used in the dance recitals around the country. The other product line that we have that we developed back in 1978, 79 is a competitive gymnastic line as well too, called Alpha Factor. And again, we're selling to gymnastic schools now around the country and around the world, approximately 5,000 to 6,000 gymnastic programs in the country. And a lot of the competitive teams wear our products, as well as over the years we've serviced a lot of Olympic teams. In the past, the most high-profile team during the 2012 Olympics was the Russians, who came in second and won the silver medal. We outfitted the USA team in 1996.
Certainly something very much to be proud of, and those are very impressive statistics with the numbers of schools and facilities.
And the unique thing about this is our design staff, on a year-to-year basis, they're creating 250 plus new styles every year. So we're in a very, very highly creative marketplace as well too. And it has to be fresh, has to be innovative, and it has to be current.
I know we're going to be going out to your facility out close to East Prospect a little bit later to look at the actual production, if you will, with the things that are going on there. But we're here at North York right now, and predominantly what is done here in this area?
For the most part, these are all the administrative offices and all of our design, product development, warehousing, all finance, human resources, everything and anything to do with the whole administrative side of the company is all taken care of here.
Okay, it's just sort of like the core of the engine here.
Yep. And our manufacturing, of course, with cutting and sewing, takes place at our manufacturing plant.
Okay. Talking with some of those folks, you've got a great history of longevity. I think you used the term blessed with the loyalty of your company. Obviously, that's because of your principles and values that you have permeated throughout the organization. I mean, what are some of those things that you look for in people, but also like to instill from yourself with the Perform Group?
Well, I think it first begins with finding people that are competent. Certainly, that's a requirement. but it's people that have strong values. And we have done our best throughout the past 45 years to extend those values in not only everything that we do in-house, but everything that we provide to our customers as well too. So honesty, integrity, trustworthiness, all the things that are important, I think, in our society today, we value very, very strongly in our company. And as we all know, any entity, whether it's family or business or anything, is no better than its people. And having come out of the military, and particularly a combat environment, I learned a tremendous amount about leadership and planning and all those various different attributes that one does learn as an officer in the military. And I brought those with me. And so integrity was where we based the company on, and have built the company on those values, and they have remained throughout.
Well, they seem like simple words: honesty, integrity, and trustworthiness. But obviously, you exude that, and in meeting some of your other employees, it's been an honor to be associated with them. I'm sure you share that.
Well, it has been a pleasure with me, because I love the people, and that's why I'm still here.
Yeah, is that your favorite part of working with the company? And working with
there's
the
no question. It's the people that we have in this company.
How do you feel the company has impacted your county over the years? I mean, 45 years, you certainly have touched a lot of different organizations and entities and families, for that matter.
Well, as with any business entity, I mean, we're providing week-to-week payroll salaries that are used in the local economy and throughout. And I think what we've done is provided a good place to work, which is why over the years we've been selected in Pennsylvania as in the top 50 best places to work in Pennsylvania for 4 different occasions, 4 different years.
What an honor.
So it is a place where I think people enjoy coming, working, and it's our pride as well too. And I think they take, we all take pride in what we do, and we take a tremendous amount of pride in the products that we produce and sell to our customer base throughout the world.
Where do you see Perform Group in, say, the next 5 to 10 years?
Well, I hope we continue to be here in York County. That's all predicated upon the type of business environment that we have in the state. But at this juncture, my intent is to continue to grow the company to the best of my ability, and I believe I have the team in place that can do that.
Well, again, I mean, coming to you from the House of Representatives, where I'm dealing with budgets and the fiscal situation of the Commonwealth, I thank you and your colleagues here for offering the job opportunities to the community, the economic benefits, and I wish you nothing but success for the next 5 to 10 years and thereafter for sure.
Well, I appreciate that. We all do.
And all of that happening here in North York Borough and in East Prospect area.
Absolutely, and we're very proud of it.
Well, we're very proud of it too. Good, strong South Central Pennsylvania work values and ethics. And again, we thank you so much for doing that for the community.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Hey, welcome back to Legislative Report. Right now we're with Larry Scroggin, the Director of Supply Chain and Manufacturing, and we're at the manufacturing facility. Larry, thanks so much for letting us come in.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Thanks for being here.
Well, it's great to be here. Now, we heard from your owner, Tighe King, earlier, but this actually is where things happen at the manufacturing facility. And I believe right now we're in the cutting room.
That's correct.
And there's a machine behind us here that maybe you can tell us a little bit about what is going on here with this particular machine.
Sure. This is our automated cutter, and what we do here is cut the pieces that we'll be sewing, and we'll show that later on as we move through the factory.
So this is in the place of a big pair of scissors, I guess. It's but it looks like it's very precise. Is this computer controlled, or how does it work?
It is. The work that the designers do that you talked to earlier is converted into a software program that's translated by the cutting machine and cuts out the intricate patterns that are then sewn later on in our manufacturing operations. The paper that you see on top is a reference paper that we keep with the cut pieces, so that when they're sewn, they know what piece they're sewing. There's some reference information on there, and also gives them alignment aids and things like that. We'll cut this season about 1.5 million pieces of fabric to sew about 290,000 garments this year.
My goodness. Now, this obviously looks like mass production here, but I mean, theoretically, could they do just one piece here on a machine like this, or would that be done?
Yes, we do get single orders, and so we'll do a single piece that we cut here. We also have a one-ply cutter behind you that's made primarily for that here. So many years ago, the cutter that you see here would have been replaced with the hand cutter with a blade that's probably a foot high, and an operator would run that around. So they've automated it, brought the technology pretty far for the industry.
You know, looking around the shop here, see a lot of folks. How many? I think you refer to them as team members. How many do you have here?
There are about 120 sewing associates. We have about 200 to 220 associates total in our building here.
Okay. And what kind of training do these folks get? Is it done on the job, or do they go to a trade school, or what happens before they get to this point?
Because the industry is an industry that's dying out in the country, there aren't a lot of trade schools that teach sewing. It's a home-taught school, business primarily. So this is all on-the-job training. We take people with a mechanical aptitude and also the aptitude to be able to sit and do a repetitive job throughout the day. We have our own training module here. We bring associates in that don't have sewing skill, and we run them through a training program.
Okay, and I'm assuming you probably have some people that have sewed a lot and are very good at what they do and are able to pass that trade on.
We have associates with over 30 years of working experience here at the company. There's a lot of tenure here.
Look at yourself. How long have you been here?
I've been here just about 3 years.
Okay, and I know Sarah, who we met earlier, I think she said she's been here 15 years. So, yeah, I mean, I think that speaks volumes for the company and everybody that works here, that you have that kind of tenure. Is just that.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Okay, so I think we're going to leave here. We're going to go over to the UPS room. That's not a plug for United Parcel Service. It's an acronym that you have here for the dance costumes that we're going to be.
We'll see some automated production.
Okay, great. Let's go over there. Okay, Larry, we've made our way to the UPS room. What goes on here?
Well, the UPS room area is where we do the manufacturing of our dance costumes in a high volume quantity. The line is set up to my far left where we will stage the product to be sewn. And what I mean by that is we have hangers that have clips on them, and the work is organized in a fashion that as it moves down the production line, the associate takes it off of the clip and sews that part of the product at that time. So it's like sub-assemblies the whole way down. As the product moves from my left to right, it becomes a finished garment. At the very end of the process, it goes off into our inspection department. So what the team leader does in this area is they look at the work that's being scheduled for the week that they have to sew to. They set up the line, because it is computerized, they set up the line so that the operators have the right sewing equipment and that the system knows to bring that garment to that sewing machine so that the right operations are performed. So there can be as few as 3 or 4 operations, up to 11 or 12 operations that are sewn on this line. The nice thing about it is we do our high volume production here. We'll run 100, 200, 300 pieces in a work order through this operation, and we get our biggest productivity here. We can also run multiple styles on the line. You'll see that in the background. You'll see brown costumes, white costumes, purple costumes that are being sewn at the same time. They're all brought to different stations, and so we're able to get our production capacity numbers that way. So this system is, I believe, goes back to the 70s, the technology does, but it's very reliable for us, and we have 2 lines here that we use for our high volume production.
You know, it very much reminds me of Harley Davidson is in the 47th Legislative District, and I had the opportunity to tour that. You know, where a motorcycle will start with a frame at one end, and then until it gets to the other end, it's a fully functional, ready to go. In fact, the last station is where they start it up and they test it. And very similar to what you have here, it's starting off as a raw garment, and as it passes through the various stations, it's then becoming your finished product.
That's correct. You could wear our costume when it comes off the very end. So not you and I, but perhaps our daughters would.
I don't think we'd want to show that. Yep. So with a particular garment, I guess it depends on what the garment is, but how many stops will it make going through this line, for instance?
In this line here, again, depending on the complexity and the styling, we have 4 operations that might go through. We do run some of our gymnastics leotards through here. They have less sewing operations on them when we run them on this line. And we have other costumes that are very complex that have skirt work and ribbons and all kinds of different stitching for structural and also design features. So those could be 11, 12 sewing operations.
So each one of those, would an individual do more than one thing, or would it get passed on to the next station?
With the training they have, at times they will move from one machine to another, and they'll sew an operation, go down, collect up the next group that was for the next sewing operation, do that. But typically they stay in the operation that the work comes to. So there's not a lot of movement of people on this line.
Okay, but maybe perhaps some cross-training in case somebody is sick or on vacation, they can go back and forth.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, and I take it there's an individual in the center then that makes sure that everything's flowing and they're bringing fresh
We
supplies?
do, yes. This work center has a team leader. All of our work centers have team leaders. They coordinate the work that's being done. They're problem solvers, and they work with the associates to make sure that our quality level is where we want it to be. And their job is to basically walk the line, make sure that things are being done, and that we're meeting our obligations for our customers.
Great. Well, somebody that may be watching this thinking, hey, boy, that'd be a great place to work. Monday through Friday, I'm inside in a nice environment. How could they apply? Is there like a website, or how could they apply to maybe consider employment opportunities?
Yes, they can go to our website, and they can also come here to our manufacturing facility in East Prospect and apply in person. We consider all applicants. We prefer people who have sewing experience, but we have a training module where we can train people that don't have sewing experience. And we have other jobs here besides sewing that we do. We have warehouse functions, we have a kitting, a shipping operation as well.
Okay, so a lot of different opportunities for people.
Yeah,
okay.
Absolutely.
I think you want to take us over to your specialty area, the gluing and zigzag department, that you do a lot of the gymnastics uniforms.
That's correct. The area here where we are is primarily dance, and what we'll see over there is where we make our amateur and professional gymnastics products.
Let's go see it, Larry.
Great.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, Larry, we've made our way over to the gluing and zigzag room, and I think you said this is where a major concentration is on gymnastics uniforms.
Right, that's correct. In this department, we take the components that we cut over in the cutting area, and we start to lay them out in their designs for operations that we'll see later on when we go over to our hand sewing area. What the operators do here is they glue pieces down in a set pattern that prepare them for a zigzag operation where we have an operator who sews those pieces in place. The glue we use is water soluble. It's intended primarily just to hold the product in place until it is sewn. Also in this department we do our heat press, and in that area we're taking glitz, rhinestones, Swarovski stones, and we apply those in an intricate pattern onto the pieces prior to them going out the door as a finished product. What I have here is an example of one of our gymnastics leotards. You can see the component pieces that have been glued on and then sewn, and you can also see the rhinestones that are applied in this example on the sleeves, across the front, down through the sleeves, and also on the back. This happens to be for our Alpha Factor brand, which is our own brand that we design and manufacture here in East Prospect. In addition to that, we also do contract manufacturing for Adidas in their gymnastics line. You may have seen some of this apparel worn at the collegiate level in gymnastics, and also we've manufactured for the Olympics. We've done the 1994 Olympics for the U.S. team, and last year we did garments for the Russian team. So they're performance fabrics made to stretch, bend, and do all the things that gymnasts do that I'm amazed with. Over on our dance line, we have more of a cosmetic type fabric, also functional but more pretty. This is very engineered to survive all of the rigors of gymnastics. So we have women's and men's products that we make here.
So, well, this is just a quality garment, and I recall you saying that each one of these, particularly in a team situation, they have to be exactly the same. So these rhinestones are all placed precisely where
that's
one
correct.
to the other.
Yes, that's correct. And it's interesting because our designers have to account for the different sizes of the gymnast team. We have children that are extra small up to adult large or adult, 2XL in some cases. So all of this is engineered so that it's proportionally correct. And those designs are brought down here into this department, and they're translated into what we see going out the door in the finished product. Everybody has to match. They all have to look the same.
Wow, that is just terrific too. A lot of forethought and planning goes into this for sure. Particularly, I guess you try to get as close as you can with an individual size, but sometimes you never know.
That's correct. Right.
Okay, and I think we're going to go on to, you mentioned about a custom sewing area, a lot of handwork that is done there. That's going to be probably our last stop here at the manufacturing.
Yep. We're going to go look and see how this product is sewn together.
Real good. Thank you, Larry.
Great.
Okay, Larry, we're now in the custom sewing area, as well as I believe quality control also takes place here. But maybe it looks like there's a lot going on, a lot of folks here at their stations. But I believe you said a lot of handwork is done here, and a final check before it goes out the door.
That's correct. Excuse me, that's correct. In this area, we're taking product that we looked at previously in the glue and zigzag area, and they're sewing it into the finished garment. So the work that's done on this sample that we showed, all the final seaming, sleeves put on, that's done in this department by the associates that work here. In total in the factory, we have, as I mentioned earlier, about 120 sewing associates. We have about 350 sewing stations that are available to us. So this department is a little bit different than the UPS line. On the UPS line, product is brought to the associate for sewing. Here, the associates will go from one sewing machine to the other, so they get up to move where the equipment is to perform the function that they need. After they're done with their sewing operation, it's brought over to our inspectors that are in this area, and they perform our final visual inspection. They do a functional test for stretch, make sure things are sewn correctly. And they also check it to our specifications to make sure it's the right pattern in the right place, the right colors, prior to it going out the door and being shipped out up at Tighe Central. When we were looking over in the cutting area, the fabric that you've seen throughout the tour, last year we purchased enough fabric to cover 94 football fields. So that's about 1.5 million yards of fabric that we purchased. And you don't get a sense for that when you're looking at all the stuff that's being done here. But after the year is over and you go back and do the math, it's amazing how much product that we move through this facility. And you see thread all over the place. We purchased enough thread, if we tied it end to end, we could circle the earth about 20 times. And to me, those are just like crazy fun facts about this business, but you don't think about it when you're holding a garment in your hands, about the effort that the people put in to manufacture it, all the stuff that goes on in the background. So it's really a rewarding experience for me to associate with people like this here. It's great, love it.
Well, you certainly exude that, Larry, and really appreciate the time that you've afforded us today, and obviously the same goes to your associates. It looks like an excellent team, and as a representative in the House of Representatives, proud to have you guys as part of the community doing the great work that you're doing. And the next time the viewers are turning on their television set and watching the Olympic Games or maybe a gymnastics match, they can say that this was made here in York County by the Perform Group, and have a little sense of ownership as well.
And thank you for coming. We appreciate your time here.
Our honor to be here. Thanks once again for letting us come in, and we're going to maybe try and go talk to a couple of your associates now, and then let you guys get back to work.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Enjoyed it. Thank you.
Okay, we're here with Connie, Kathy, and Stella. I think combined, if my math's right, you're about 86 years of experience here between you three guys. You're at 23?
23, going on 24.
36? 27.
26, going on 27.
My goodness, I think that in itself speaks volumes. What do you guys like about working here at the Perform Group?
He really cares about his people. He makes sure that he works with the company. He has things for us.
And this is Mr. King you're referring to?
Yes, Mr. King. Yes, He's very good to his people.
Yeah. Connie, are you saying about the same thing?
Yeah, I do. I mean, I like the girls I work with. Yeah, I think Mr. King really does care. We have pretty good benefits and 401k and stuff. Yeah, Mr. King does care about his people.
Okay. And I know Connie and Kathy, you guys are both team leaders, so you're working very closely with a lot of folks around here.
Right.
And Stella, I believe you said you're a master seamstress?
Master seamstress, right.
Okay, maybe tell us a little bit about what you do.
I do a little bit of everything, and I work in the MTOA area, which we
complete orders from beginning to end. We start the garments, we finish them the whole way, we do everything to them.
Okay, great. And Connie, but being a team leader, again, working with the folks here, I mean, that gives you a lot of enjoyment, just the different personalities and
yeah, it is. It's every day's different, different moods and whatever. But yeah, I like the girls I work with. Yeah.
Yeah. Kathy?
It's different styles all the time, so we're always doing something different. It's not the same thing. So we're always moving machines in and out because I work on the line, and the line just goes from station to station. So it's very different. It's nice to work with. It's not the same thing all the time.
Little variety, huh?
Lots of variety.
Yeah. Well, great. Well, listen, Connie, Stella, Kathy, thank you so much for spending a couple of minutes with us. We're going to be moving on to another area, and again, I appreciate your time and congratulations with 86 years of longevity. Again, you mentioned about Mr. King. I just think that speaks volumes for the Perform Group here, and obviously a lot of pride. And thank you for spending a couple of minutes with us.
Yep, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Take care.
You too.
Okay, Ty, as we wind down today's show, we're here at your General Distribution Center. So this is where all the products you made from the East Prospect facility and packaged and so forth here will go out the door and go worldwide.
All the products that we not only manufacture in-house but source out and bring in here as well too. Everything is stored, shipped out, yes, globally. So very proud of that.
Well, you have every right to be proud. And with that, I want to thank you for the opportunity to allow us to come in and spend some time with you and your associates. It's just a wonderful thing that you've done for the community, being the business, providing jobs and the economic support that we so desperately need in these times.
Well, thank you very much. We're very proud of the company, but we're also very, very proud of our community as well. And I'd like to personally thank you as well too for the work that you're doing up in Harrisburg to represent our community and your county.
Well, very kind of you to say so. Thank you again for letting us come
Absolutely.
in. With that, I'm Keith Gillespie of the 47th District in York, Canada. That's all the time we have for today's show. If you have any questions about today's show, contact information will be on the screen in just a moment. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time on Legislative Report.